Next, we're going to answer a question submitted by you. Today's question comes from Anne. Anne asks, how do you budget for food if you like to buy in bulk? The expense each month is not consistent because of bulk purchases that come in waves. This is a great question. When you're buying just the groceries that you need for that month, and your months are relatively consistent on what it is that you need for your bare minimum food, I'm excluding the fact that you might need to buy food and groceries for hosting events or holidays. Those might go on a different line item. But the core need that you have for feeding you and your family is probably consistent month to month. If I understand the question correctly, when you go and you buy in bulk, you might have like a bunch of bulk buying that you do one month, and the next month might be lighter. You might not buy as much in bulk if you buy in bulk at all. As a result, you might be running into a problem where your food budget is not predictable. You can't look at the past months and say, well, what am I supposed to expect this month? This is especially true if you don't know what kind of bulk food purchases you want to be making for that month in advance of writing your budget. It's understandable that you might run into situations where there are certain deals or opportunities that come for bulk buying that couldn't be predicted. And this leaves us with a very good budgeting question. I'm going to assume that the benefit that you're looking for in buying food in bulk is to save money on your food overall. So you're looking at an overall month-to-month food expense that's less than what it would be if you were buying just what you needed each month, every month. I'm also going to assume that you're buying perishable fresh produce and other groceries that are not going to be able to last beyond the month, something that you can't really buy in bulk. The way I see it, we have two genuine categories here. We have the food that you would buy every month that you can't buy in bulk, your regular monthly groceries, if you will, and then you have the bulk food. So in the budget, if it were me in your situation, I would just separate those two budgeting categories. We're going to say, for example, let's put $300 in the monthly food category. Let's make it less than the national average for your given family size. Let's then look at all of the other expenses and the discretionary income that we have left. Some of that needs to go towards buying food in bulk so that we can pursue that lower monthly food grocery budget line item that we established earlier. And in looking at the budget, you need to be saying, okay, how much can we spend on bulk food? Part of that decision-making process is going to be maybe, we're running low on rice, or we're running low on beans, or the freezer is running out of meat. Maybe we need to be buying a good chunk of beef, or even half of a cow. When you're buying the food in bulk, you can give yourself a limit as to what you want to be spending on bulk, kind of have an idea in mind what you might need, but give yourself a little extra room so that you can take advantage of those deals that you can't necessarily predict. The problem that you might run into is giving yourself this limit on the budget is going to restrict, potentially, the amount of bulk food buying that you may otherwise do that given month. But that should help keep you intentional with your bulk food purchases and not just taking advantage of deals for the sake of the deal itself. And when you run into a deal that would push your bulk food spending for that month beyond what you budgeted, if it really is something that you want to intentionally pursue, you can go back and figure out, okay, from what can I take away this month in the budget in order to increase how much I can spend on the bulk food? If you're married, you want to look at this with your spouse and make that decision as to what opportunity cost you want to exchange to take advantage of that particular deal that month, and do so intentionally. I hope that answers your question, Anne, and I hope that helps you as you continue budgeting bravely in your future.